Now, a historic moment unfolded in Nairobi as the Catholic Church, led by Archbishop Anyolo, joined hands with the Kenya Prisons Service and key government leaders to launch the triple-decker bed campaign, a nationwide drive to restore dignity in male prisons by providing adequate sleeping facilities. The initiative seeks to address decades of deplorable conditions where the majority of male inmates still sleep on bare floors, a stark contradiction to the Mandela rules, which emphasize humane treatment of prisoners. Our reporter Peter Onsare attended the fundraising dinner and filed this explainer. Enjoy.
Did you know that during the colonial era, prisons in Kenya were used primarily as detention camps? This means that these institutions existed mainly to torture individuals whose fates led them there. But fast forward to present-day Kenya, our prisons have begun embracing a more holistic approach, gradually transforming into centers of rehabilitation. However, many of these institutions remain in deplorable conditions, exposing a major disconnect between our noble intentions and the reality on the ground. A resounding call for compassion echoed recently at a fundraising dinner in Nairobi, where leaders, the clergy and stakeholders gathered to support the triple-decker bed campaign. The mission is simple yet profound: to raise funds for over 20,000 beds for male prisoners, starting with facilities like Nairobi West Prison, where hundreds still sleep on cramped floors, on thin mattresses that wear out within weeks.
In our minds, we have inculcated in our minds that prisons is a place to go and punish people. And so once someone has gone to prison, they must live in the worst conditions. Ndio ikuwe funzo kwa wengine who are out there. So because of that, it is important that such initiatives as the PS is raising awareness. I mean, if we are all sitting here, you're asking yourself, why are we doing an Arambe to build beds? The government should do it. Prisoners, since independence or before, are sleeping on the floor. Just because for 60 years plus, we could not just buy beds.
The campaign, initiated by Archbishop Anyolo, captured the moral essence of the Church's mission. To serve prisoners is to serve God's blessing in a special way. In his words, not every person behind bars is guilty, as some are victims of wrongful imprisonment, yet all deserve dignity.
At the same time, we are still very much aware about it. We still associate with one another as brothers and sisters. We feel pity and we feel sad for those ones who are imprisoned, because they are our brothers, they are our parents, they are our sisters and so forth.
At the fundraiser, Cabinet Secretary Murkomen acknowledged the long-standing resource constraints that have crippled Kenya's prison system for decades. But he pledged reforms, including the construction of 28,000 housing units for prison officers under the Affordable Housing Program, and efforts to decongest prisons through probation and alternative sentencing for minor offenses.
No better society if we do not have institutions that can help us correct those who go wayward in society in such a manner that when they come back, people can see that they have become different people.
Commissioner General of Prisons Patrick Arandu endorsed the initiative, calling it a turning point in Kenya's correctional journey. He was joined by PS Dr. Salome Biako, who urged partners, stakeholders and well-wishers to support the campaign under the bottom-up economic agenda, stressing that rehabilitation cannot thrive in undignified conditions.
So tonight we are bound by a shared vision. That true freedom is more than physical space. It is the dignity of the soul and the hope of a new tomorrow. To give freedom behind bars is to lay the cornerstone of transformation.
Statistics paint a stark picture. Of every 1,000 Kenyans, 105 are in prison, and of those jailed, 95% are men. Out of Kenya's 135 prisons, only 47 house women, all of which are fitted with beds. Male prisons, however, remain critically under-equipped, the result of overcrowded dormitories where mattresses decay quickly, leaving many inmates to sleep directly on the floor. This contradiction undermines the Mandela overrules the UN's blueprint for human prison standards, which emphasize adequate bedding, hygiene, and respect for human dignity. Globally, the imbalance is similar. Men account for over 90% of prisoners, while women comprise of just 6 to 8%. Beyond comfort, a dignified bed is a matter of health and humanity. Experts say it reduces the spread of skin and respiratory diseases, prevents spinal problems, and fosters mental well-being. A rested inmate is more likely to learn, work, and embrace rehabilitation. Indeed, the campaign demonstrates that small acts, like a bed, can transform prison life. Pope Francis has often reminded the world, have mercy on those least among us, for they too are children of God.
Let me reassure this distinguished gathering that our correctional services are alive to the fact that the measures of justice system is not only how it punishes wrongdoing, but how it restores human dignity.
The triple-decker bed campaign embodies this call for mercy, justice, and healing.
50 in M-Pesa, 50 cash. Thank you very much.
And as the Nelson Mandela rule states that human dignity should be employed on all prisoners, this is a positive milestone for Kenya in actualization of this. Peter Onsare for TV47 Nigeria.